Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Wally Walks. I'm going to start doing shorter episodes, I think. Anyway, this is Wally. Wally, introduce yourself. Wally, you're so rude. And he's selfish, too. And he's a star. I talk about news. I talk about things I'm thinking about. And I invite you to comment down below. Also, make sure to subscribe. And make sure to ring the bell. That way you are updated when new videos drop. Come on, Wall, let's go. We'll walk and we'll talk. So yesterday in Colorado, an independent report was released as it pertains to Elijah McClain. And it purports that due diligence perhaps wasn't done. Can you imagine, for those of you who... I reckon everyone is fully aware of what happened. Elijah McClain was walking home. This was about a year ago, a little more. Was walking home wearing a ski mask. Meanwhile, look at me. Walking home wearing a ski mask. He was dancing. He was listening to headphones. And somebody called the police on him because he was acting suspiciously. I can almost guarantee that the person who called the police, and I don't know this because it has not come out, like who did it, but I can almost guarantee that they believe in small government. I think that if there was a Venn diagram made of people who believe in small government and people who call the police on people who, fart too loud in the library, the two circles would almost completely overlap. I mean, of course, I think that there are some liberal wine moms and, turtleneck dads who also call the police more often than they should. But anyway, I digress. Police were called. No crime was identified. The police showed up. It was three guys, and their names were like Nathan, Vinny, and Bubba. It was something preposterously awful like that. Their cameras that they wear, their body cams, fell off. They fell to the ground, and they threw him against a wall. They restrain him. They say that he was reaching for one of their guns. This is a 140-pound-year-old, 25-year-old. And they put various chokeholds on him. He passes out more than once. He's throwing up. Eventually, people, I think it was paramedics, they show up and they inject him with enough ketamine to sedate a 200-pound man. None of them got charged with shit. And in fact, many months after they committed this fucking crime, police would go back to the site and take pictures recreating the crime. What did you eat, Wally? One police officer finally got fired. They were texting each other pictures, and he was laughing about it, about the innocent kid that he fucking murdered. Eventually, a police chief found out about this. More people were fired. The police chief said, I really don't know how to train people to be decent. Anyway, defund the police. So, this independent report comes out, which basically... hey, how you doing today?
How are you?
Good. Which was that the police were let off the hook. Vinny, Bubba, and Vince, whatever the fuck their names were, entirely let off the hook. And really, Elijah McClain is an anathema to the general tactic of conservatives when something like this happens, which is they comb through the person's past and they very carefully pull out any instance which absolves them from feeling as awful as they should. I think bootlicking should feel just terrible, but... oh shit, we got a shite happening right now. I think bootlicking should feel just terrible. But rather than feel terrible, they will come up with various excuses. They found that in high school he once smoked a doobie, so I guess he had it coming. George Floyd, they combed through his past and they pointed out that, there were some crimes that he committed in 2000. The last one he was arrested for was in 2011. And, he was on drugs when he was murdered by the police. And in fact, we think it was the drugs that killed him and not the police, even though it was on fucking video. A crazy claim to make, but they do it. Meanwhile, all I hear is, this guy who had not committed a crime since 2011 and was an addict that needed help was murdered in cold blood. That's what I hear, but they hear something else. So Elijah McClain actually had never committed a crime. He was a pacifist. He was a vegan. When he was in high school, on his lunch breaks, he would play violin and guitar to cats at a cat shelter. Wally, what are you looking at, bro? No, we're not going into that house. I don't know what you're thinking. In this instance, their defense of the police just looks... There's nothing to hide behind. This 25-year-old boy was murdered in cold blood. This 25-year-old kid was murdered. And, it's so funny. It's not funny. The family and millions of people who signed a petition sought to get an independent investigation done. And the Aurora police, Aurora, Colorado, they said, we did. And it was headed up by the police. And they said, we did it. This is an independent investigation. Wally. And so hopefully we get closer to achieving justice for Elijah. It so blatantly shows the systemic racism prevalent in our justice system. And on every level, from the call to them showing up, being entirely unable to de-escalate, and then some absolute prick thinking that, look at this, a meeting of minds. No, Wally, no. And so, maybe we'll get some justice. That would be ideal. Because it's a fucking tragedy what happened right now. No. Come on, kid. Come. Y'all, if you would like to, please take a moment. You can make a donation to the Nola Project. We are a theater company right now. We're not doing any theater. And we still need to stay alive. You can donate to the 7th Ward Triangle. I highly recommend you do that. It helps the community. How y'all doing? Yay! How are you, my heart? It's good to see you all.
You're fucking nuts wearing shorts, Alex.
Yes, that's true. Look at my shorts. My God, such legs. Lord. And you can and also donate to me. This is my Venmo. Please, because the dog, it's to feed the dog, really, isn't he? And he's the fucking star. Wally, your thoughts? Yeah. All right, y'all. Thank you very much. Cheers. Bye-bye.